Michelle, you know that there's a saying that the path to a man's heart is through his stomach. Is that true?
Well, Zakia, I wouldn't say it's quite that simple, but I think guys do appreciate the skills of a good cook.
I'll let you in on a little secret. That story about saying it with flowers, it does work. But the message is that little bit sweeter when the bouquet is something unusual. A Durban-based entrepreneur spotted a gap in the floral market, and Jay Loshni went to find out how the idea had bloomed.
Naseema Butler describes herself as the jeweled florist and focuses on the bridal market. There's little conventional about these bouquets, posies and corsages, and their glitter caught Jay Loshni's eye.
Fresh flowers are no doubt always beautiful, but traditional fresh flower bridal bouquets are no longer the order of the day. Trends are continually changing, hence the appearance of the non-traditional bouquet, especially designed for the bride who wants to be different. Now, Naseema Butler is an artist who specializes in the field, and she's about to share her passion with us.
Naseema's creations incorporate vintage and contemporary jewelry.
Naseema, I'm so thrilled to be here, and this is so beautiful. I've never seen so many gorgeous bouquets ever. I have to ask, where did it all start? Where did the idea or the concept originate for you?
Well, I actually stumbled across it when I attended a wedding a couple of years ago, and they had made a button bouquet for the bride. And that's when I got so excited and I said, that's it, something non-traditional in a wedding. And that's how it all started.
You saw a button bouquet at the wedding and you noticed that. I wouldn't notice that if I went to a wedding. So obviously, were you involved in this kind of field?
I am a graphic designer by profession, but I also worked in the bridal industry for 6 years. I worked with brides. I was in charge of purchasing and merchandise and selecting gowns. And that's when I realized I would love to continue working with brides.
Naseema, why would a bride want to choose these non-traditional bouquets as opposed to fresh flower bouquets?
The trend that has been happening now and internationally is that even though brides love new designs and like to be inspired, they still like the personal touch. And this is where the jewel bouquet really comes in for those brides. We can give them anything they want. Besides that, there's the obvious, like if your flower is not available in that season, you want a summer flower in winter, we're doing foxbloom, so you can have that flower all year round.
And of course, there's the advantage of it lasting forever. I mean, 50 years, 100 years from now, you look back and there's this beautiful bouquet intact.
Well, that's the biggest point. And a lot of brides that come in, we chat about rands and cents. Spend your money on your bouquet that is pretty much going to immortalize your wedding.
Naseema, what are current trends? What is most popular with brides when they're making this choice of their bridal bouquets?
The trends for this summer were a lot of coral and mint. Winter was a lot of mink and ivory, and you can see the subtlety in the brides in terms of a lot of lace. And we also advise our brides, take pieces from your actual wedding gown if you're stitching, and let's put it into your bouquet as well.
Naseema, what advice would you give to potential or upcoming brides in terms of their choice of bridal bouquets?
When I initially chat to a bride and set up an appointment, I'll always ask them to go onto our website, go onto our Facebook page, and get a feel first for what we offer. And if they've already got an idea in mind, we've got a lot of swatches, pictures, albums that they can draw inspiration from.
Now, you've been doing this for a while and you're making all kinds of different bouquets. What for you is the most outrageous request you've received from a bride, or something really different?
Well, one I don't think I'll ever forget was for a bride named Shakira. She asked me to make a bouquet for her with lights inside. So we had made for her a bouquet very similar to this one here. And I had strung dainty LED lights in between the jewel work. And I don't think I'll ever forget making that one, because it was a lot of trial and error to try and get a battery pack inside the handle of the bouquet.
How long would you estimate that it would take to make a standard bouquet?
A bouquet can take us roughly 6 to 7 days to make. That would just be a standard bouquet. If we were going heavily jeweled, you're looking at about 10 to 12 days.
I'm loving being here and learning all about this, but I'm more excited because I believe you're going to be teaching me how to make a bouquet.
Yes, I want to just give you a little bit of a feel of what it takes to actually make one.
Can't wait, shall we start?
Yes.
Okay, so this is where it's all happening.
Yes, Jane, you're going to get your hands dirty with us.
Well, I love this color.
Thank you. This was also very hot for winter. Aubergine, deep shades of purple, and then shading it with lighters.
Well, I can imagine for winter it would be so rich
Lovely.
and beautiful.
What you need to be able to make this is some 4-gauge wire, okay, which you can get in any of the craft stores. And the first thing we're going to do is just bend your wire in half and create a loop at the top. So you can just take your hands and just give it a good squash there on the top.
So you squish it. Oh, mine's just already bending all kind of funny.
And what we're actually trying to do is we're going to turn this into a flower. We're going to go at the top of the brooch and we're going to find 2 little holes.
Should they be close together?
Oh no, it's not necessary.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. And then you're going to give that a good yank and pull it down. Now I'm going to give you a little plier to hold in your hand. Sure. And all we're going to do is, we're going to hold the plier say about 3 or 4 centimeters away from the brooch, and then we're going to just twist. And this is just securing the wire to the brooch. Then you're going to grab another piece of wire and you're going to bend that in half again, create that little loop, and this time we're going on the opposite end of the brooch. Obviously working from the top down. You want to work from the top of the brooch down. Yeah, there we go. It's okay.
This is not obviously one of my strong points.
It's fine.
But it's getting there.
This is why it takes so much of time.
It's getting there. Wow.
Hold your plier in place and you're going to just twist. And when you come to this part here, I just grab one of the wires and twist the rest of the way. You don't have to worry too much.
It's tough on the hands.
Tough on the hands?
It's a strong wire, so you have to have tough hands.
Jay, you can then take the flower and just go with it. You can hold that in your hand and you're going to just poke it through. And you can decide, okay, maybe we'll just use 3.
Maybe we do one more like that.
Get yourself a lovely piece of ribbon. Pretend for now. It's a rough idea of your bridesmaid's version of your bride's bouquet.
So, voila.
Jaloshni, I have 2 brides here that I have done bouquets for, both with 2 very different looks. You can see the traditional round bouquet, which goes well with all dress types. And then you have a teardrop cascading bouquet, especially with the hanging beaded detail. And we suggest these for brides who have a gown that flows. This was a very hot color this summer. Coral and mint was really in.
I do know as well that sometimes brides probably make the mistake that my colors for my decor are this, so my bouquet probably has to match that. Does it work like that, or should it?
Not necessarily at all. I'll tell you why. The focus of most of the people at the wedding and your cameraman, a little bit on the groom, but 90% of the photography done on that day is the bride, in every angle with the smiles and the poses. So imagine your dress as your blank canvas and your bouquet is your accessory. It's there to enhance you.
Well, Naseema, I've been dying to ask this question. I mean, they're so beautiful and gorgeous, and there's so much of time that you've obviously taken with. Can I just hold that? Because I mean, look at that. There's so much detail in the jewels and the pearls and the silk flowers and so on. So then, when the bride is going to throw the bouquet, this is quite heavy and it's quite precious. Is she actually going to throw this?
You know, what we suggest to our brides is, whoever's doing your fresh floral arrangements for your wedding day, have them make a small posy for you and you can throw that one.
I decided to choose a non-traditional bouquet due to the fact that it showed my personality, it showed the real theme of my wedding and the person of who I am in detail.
A wedding day is the most special day in a bride's life, and these beautiful bouquets allow her to stand out. Timeless pieces that ensure everlasting memories.